Hello, and welcome to Three Sisters, One Heart podcast. I'm Tiffany.
Shannon.
And Heather.
Today we are going to talk all about traditional and non-traditional gender roles and how they play out in relationships, specifically our experiences and how they've played in our relationships. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and jump into our trials for this week.
Why am I always first? Well, my trial is we didn't get approved for the house loan. So, as disheartening as it is and a little bit frustrating, we are going to take the next year, work on our credit a little more, just keep building up and go from there. And just be thankful we have a roof over our heads still.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to kind of...
It's an optimistic outlook.
Flip it.
I'm trying to be. It's hard.
It's hard. That really sucks. It's never easy news to take by any means.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you remember, but now it's probably, I would say 5 years, but I think it's been more. Chris and I had always been afraid of having debt, and so when we went to buy our first car from a dealership, a used car, mind you, wasn't even a new car, and we had I think we had 2/3 of it down. We had more of a down payment than we would have had left.
Like to borrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we still, because we had no credit, we avoided credit cards. We always bought little beater cars outright. We had to, they said we had ghost credit, which means you have nothing.
No credit is
nothing.
worse than bad credit.
And that's exactly what we were told. And we were devastated. We ended up barely, because we had so much down, being able to get the loan. But our interest rate was outrageous. I want to say it was 25% interest rate. We worked on our credit. We needed it, so we needed the car, so we went with it. And we worked on our credit by, getting a Target card. I've always been kind of afraid of bigger credit cards because I've had, I've had people in my life tell me horror stories about credit card debt, and I just have always been worried about that. So what we did is we got a Target card. It had a couple $100 limit, and it took us about a year to build our credit up. And, every other purchase we would pay onto our Target card. So, we'd get groceries or coffees. And then the next time we would go in, we would just put a nice chunk of money on it. So we were never going, as far as to the limit. And within a year, we were able to refinance with our credit union and get a much better rate. So you'd be surprised, even 6 months to a year, how much that you can change that around.
Well, I'll tell you, even personally, 5 years ago, I couldn't get a car loan, regardless.
Yeah.
It didn't matter, whatever. And then we have, much to the credit of my husband, because he's so much better with money, and he's like, no, this is how we pay this, and this is what we use this, and he's got it all outlined. But I was able to get my car at a really, really good rate. So as long as you're really, hell, he would probably even talk to you about it if you guys needed help to figure out what it is to do.
Maybe.
That's a good idea.
Our plan is, since for the past year we've been living on one paycheck, that my paychecks go towards the debt.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So to wipe it out within the next year, bump it all up, and then work on the house.
That's perfect.
So
I'm sure that you can get it, especially after doing work like that.
Yeah. That's our goal, and hopefully this time next year we'll have a house.
Right.
Just take it 1 month at a time.
Oh, yes.
All right, so for me, as you know, we just celebrated Thanksgiving, which was wonderful, and our wonderful contractor was trying his best to get us in by Thanksgiving. That being said, the plumbing wasn't done. We are not into our house. We had to move everything out of our storage unit because we can't just, we're getting lower in the budget. Things are getting tighter as we progress through this whole project, and we just couldn't afford another month of storage. So we moved with the help of my sisters, but also my brother-in-laws.
Yeah.
We moved this weekend, all of our stuff out of storage, and it is literally just sitting at my house in a cluster. Some of it on my front porch because we can't
even fully move
anything in.
My dad, who is in the business, or our dad, he came through and was just helping me where they make a punch out list, and so punch out is before
I
you
never
move
heard
in.
that
Basically
term, but I
what they
understand
need
what
to
it is.
finish.
Yeah, and it was a long list. So I'm just gonna, he says a punch out usually takes 2 or 3 days, but our list was quite long. And I'm just gonna assume things don't usually go well for me. And it's funny because, and we'll have to have a topic on this of law of attraction. I try to law of attraction my life up, but
like all the good things.
All the good things are coming to me. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. But also, I have to have that balance because otherwise, I'll be super let down.
Yeah.
And things do not come easy to me. I always say, like, I'm not a first time's the charm kind of a gal. I'm a third time's the charm if you really try and work your butt off for it. Yeah. So
I know I have noticed that, like,
things don't come easy to us.
No, never.
Well, if there were, like, for the three of us, I feel like things have lined up more easily for me, and it's not fair.
No,
I mean,
or maybe
you were pretty sickly,
struggle.
so
Oh, that's true. Maybe I just paid my dues early on.
And I think it comes in, it shifts. It shifts, just like the balance in the universe.
I just always feel guilty. I'm like, it shouldn't be this hard. It's
Yeah.
not fair. It's not fair that it's that hard for you guys.
It's all right.
I mean, I've
it
had my
teaches
trials
me
too.
Perseverance.
Yes.
And
There
if
you
I
go.
know anything, it's how to persevere.
That's true.
So that's kind of a bummer. We did, however, we got some new appliances, and we could kind of use our house a little bit. So, I'm
jealous of that dishwasher. I'm just saying.
it's not hooked up. Don't be jealous.
I mean,
Don't be jealous yet.
Don't be
Next
jealous.
week, maybe.
I literally had to have Annika, who has kind of been not on the positive list lately. She's been a little bit in trouble, and as part of her chores and punishment, she had to run back and forth between the house and the bus house to wash dishes for Thanksgiving. So I cooked an entire meal
You have to be
without running
creative.
water
Yes.
in that house. But Annika was my little gopher, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So we still had a great Thanksgiving. Luckily, Shannon opened her home to all of us, really.
Always.
And it was great. We had a great time.
It was fun, especially
really fun.
Family Feud.
Oh, yeah. It was so
That was-
funny.
that was interesting.
It was fun. Mine this week, I find it so funny how we don't talk about these things before. We really like the transparency almost of finding out about these things as you guys are.
Keeping it genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always find it funny that we almost have a theme because mine is house related too.
I
But-
think it's the time of year, maybe a little bit.
Well, it's not so much for me. It's just that everything with my mother-in-law, it's bubbling over. It's taking a long time. It's hard to find something that's going to work for her. We want to help. We're not able to build on like we thought that we were going to be able to. So the whole thing is just super stressful, and I can only imagine how stressful for her, so I feel bad. So it's just trying to find a home in her budget
Right.
has been
Impossible.
nearly impossible.
And you don't have the space to add to your home.
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't have the property. We've got the willingness.
Right, of course.
But we just don't have we have a very small property. So it just doesn't work out for us to be able to help like we wanted. So then there's always, do you get a bigger house? Do you look for a house for her of her own? Like, does she even want to live with us? Like,
Yeah. Now, is she at a point where she does need a little extra care? Like, is she able to completely live on her own, or does she
she
need a
can,
little
but
care?
it's definitely easier on her if she's got
Yeah.
somebody there. So
Right.
ideally, it would be something that gives her privacy,
Mm-hmm.
but that we're there because I'm running to the grocery store. Like, I'm going to do
I've
this.
got an idea. Y'all buy her the house, you hire me, I'll help out.
I don't need to hire somebody for her. But it's just a lot, and I don't mind doing the grocery shopping and all those kind of things, but it's just another dynamic of my life that I'm juggling.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh gosh, like, how do I do this all? So it's just been a little bit of trial and error and
Right.
just frustration of not knowing how to help.
Feeling stuck, like
Yeah.
having the willingness to help, but then
There's
feeling
just
stuck.
nothing in the area open. There's just,
No.
I guess it's not a good time to buy a house. I don't
No.
know, to sell a house.
No.
I don't know much about that kind of stuff.
Me neither.
Like I said, thankfully my husband takes care of it. Like, Ben can be like, oh, if we pay this much extra every month, then we can pay our house off in 10 extra years and blah, 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 blah. Like, he knows all that math.
You're like, just tell me what to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
how much money do you need? Like, that's all that I need to know. But yeah, so it's just a little frustrating and a little disheartening that it's taking this long to figure something out. Because we want everybody to be comfortable.
Of course.
So that's where I'm at.
Well, we hope you all had a great Thanksgiving, and I guess this will kind of lead us into our topic. So, of course, again, our topic is traditional and non-traditional gender roles and how they've applied in our relationships and our marriages. So, I guess I'll start off. I've been married the longest.
Yeah.
My husband and I have been married about 15 years. I'll say that early on, because our mother was a single parent and we struggled, I helped a lot with you guys when you were little, that I didn't want to have kids. I didn't want to have kids. I told Mom, like, well, maybe I'll adopt eventually. Maybe.
She's still holding out for that.
I know.
That little
Chinese
Our
baby.
little Chinese
Yeah.
baby.
So I never imagined ever getting married because I had seen my mom go through relationships and just seen people just treat her awfully and just see how giving and loving and willing to compromise she was as a person, and to see those people just take
that it just
advantage
didn't
of
even
her.
matter.
Yeah.
So I never imagined I would get married. Fast forward to when I met my husband. He was very much, came from a traditional home where his parents divorced, but they didn't divorce until he was in his late teens. His parents were both heavily like pillars of the church type people. They were involved, and he always wanted to get married and have children, and I didn't know how that was going to work for us, because I didn't ever envision that for me. Then, of course, we fell in love and got married, and I got married incredibly young, at 19, and it was like, because I knew how he was brought up and what his ideals were, I kind of just like totally like flip-flopped and reversed how I felt about things. Like, okay, well, if I'm doing this, then I want to do it the way it's meant to be done. And to me, that way was, to have your perfect little 50 nuclear family where the wife stays at home with the kids and cooks and cleans and runs the errands, and the husband is out and he works and he brings home the bacon, as they say. And we did that. We did that for a good while. We really did. And I'll tell you, at first it was great, and I loved it, but I always felt like I was working towards and living for other people's happiness. That I was like a second thought in my own family. Yeah. And in some ways, I started to feel like I had lost myself and lost my sense of self. And, living several years that way, and then slowly kind of realizing that it just wasn't working for us, and me in particular, and it wasn't on him. I will say that right off. It wasn't like he expected these things. He was happy that I did those things.
He appreciated it.
But he didn't expect that. And there had been many times where he would be like, well, I can help with this. And I'd be like, oh, no. I'll do it. That's for me to do.
Wife.
I stay at home. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I would take on so much that at the end of the day, I would have nothing left to give. Nothing left to give my family, let alone myself.
Right.
And so around... I'll say maybe around age 2, close to age 2 for Annika, after our second daughter, I started really feeling this need for something for myself, which is when I started to take a community yoga class. And I won't say that yoga class was the changer for all of these things.
Right.
But it was the beginning of something. Yeah, it was the beginning of something. And taking that step and making that time for myself was a step that I needed to show me that I can still do a little bit of both, but I don't have to take it all on. And I'll say now that in our marriage, that I still do take on some of those traditional roles. Like, I will still usually, he doesn't cook a lot. He likes to cook, but he is very meticulous, and he doesn't have a lot of practice. His mom always cooked. Like, for instance, Thanksgiving, when we lived up there with them, she would do Thanksgiving. We weren't to help, really. Like, you know,
Like, it was all on
day
her.
of, we would like set the table and things like that. But she would make an enormous meal, like enough to feed double the family, and all on her. She would start the night before, and she would be cooking, setting alarms, and like getting up at 3:00 in the morning to put the sweet potatoes in or the turkey or whatever. And like, he didn't expect those things from me, but I felt the need to keep that going, right? So I'll say now that our chores and stuff are a little bit more balanced. However, there are still things like, for instance, I still do most of the cooking, and I will like usually almost always make him a plate. And still he'll say to me like, "Oh, you made me a plate?" Which is so funny, because it's like, we've been married almost 15 years. Like, I've made your plate for almost 15 years. And the occasional time I don't, he's fine with that, but it's always like, oh.
I think it's his way
Weird.
of trying to like point it out.
Yeah.
I think I make everyone's plates, like,
Oh, the kids too. Well,
kids
yeah.
and his, and then I'm mine, and then as soon as I go to sit down, it's, "Mommy, can I have milk?
yeah.
Mommy, I need this. Mommy, I need that." So I'm like, up again, and by the time I'm sitting down, everyone's almost done eating.
Yeah. But you know what that's funny too, is that I still will make the girls' plates most of the time, and they're 12 and 14 now. More so, that's like my family is foodies and are foodies, and they will argue, so and so has one more bite of mac and cheese than I do.
Oh my gosh.
And so if mom splits it up,
It's already done.
so and so has one more cracker.
See,
you
mine's
know?
the opposite. I make the plates because
Yeah.
I have to make sure that my children are going to eat enough.
Right.
Because they don't like to eat.
My kids love to eat. Bread is their favorite
They're
food.
clearly not my kids. I don't know where they came from.
So I feel like we're constantly working on finding that balance and re-shifting, you know, which is all just a part of growth. We've talked many times about how relationships, they need growth. People need personal growth. And together you have to grow and find compromise and work things out. How about you guys?
Mine is a mix. So I never really had that whole, I have to be Susie Homemaker, have to be cook all the things, do all the things,
Right.
whatever. But as far as in a husband and wife role, it is very traditional. He's so spoiled and he doesn't even realize it. Like, he'll text me from the other room and be like, "I need a drink, please." And there's always please and there's always thank you. But he's been so spoiled that I do it. I do it for everything. So, but on one thing, I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I thought that I did until I went through my pregnancy staying home. But by the time Aubriana was 5 weeks old, I was like, I have to get out of this house.
Right.
Like, when somebody asks, "How was your day?" I can't be like, "Oh, Aubriana did this, this, and this." Like, I realized that need for my own identity very quickly. So, as far as working and stuff goes, I've always wanted to work. Like, and then I've had little bouts where I don't really like what I'm doing, that I'm like, "Oh, I just want to stay at home." But really, it always comes
everyone
down.
feels like that, though.
Yeah.
About like 3 days into that, you're like, you know what?
Yeah,
no,
I'm like, I
I'm
need
good.
a break.
I need
I
grown-ups.
love them more than anything in the world. I do, but I need my own identity.
Now, see, I never really, I always thought you would be a great mother, but I never really saw you as a stay-at-home parent
No.
either.
Mm-mm.
Ever. Not ever.
Mm-mm.
You, Heather, yes, a little bit. I could see it, but you're more like, we'll see. You know?
I tried it out. I tried when
Yeah.
the boys were little, because it was more costly to put them through daycare than it was for me to be working. Especially with two under 2.
Right.
Like, it was ridiculous.
It
Of
is
course, I got
very
backlash from that.
expensive.
But
Ugh.
another topic for another day. So I did the stay-at-home mom thing, and I didn't hate it, but it's not something I really want to. I like having my own income. We'll put it that way. Like, I don't
get
like
that.
having to be like, "Hey, I need $20 for gas." I don't like that.
Right.
So
Oh,
right
no.
now I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna drive up to Georgia for the weekend. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I've got money."
right.
Yeah.
Well, not enough to do that, but
But one day,
I
one
could go
day.
to Jacksonville for the day. Okay.
can go out and get a coffee. That's my
Yes.
favorite treat. Go to the coffee house.
That's all. I want to just be able to just go and say, hey, I'm gonna go have a coffee with my sisters.
And not have the guilt.
And that's the thing. Or feel like you have to ask for it, or like you're not,
Or like you're taking from such a limited
yes, or that you're not worthy of it because
you don't physically go
bring it
to work.
home. Yeah. You know, I feel like too, probably a lot of couples have these ups and downs where they're having like arguing or debates about the bringing home the money and where the money should be spent. I know it's happened in our lives, and even with having a husband that's been very supportive and very like, this is our money, it has come up, and I feel like it's one of those like grass is always greener things. Like when he was working and I was home, you know, when I say I did all the things and he just went to work, I mean it. Like, I did all the things. I did all the bills. I did all of the go to get the oil changed in the car. Like, I pretty much waited on him hand and foot, except for he went to work and did the work things. So, yeah, I feel like probably everyone has that and has had that argument because, you know, the person, and I'll say person because we definitely have people in our lives and friends that have reversed non-traditional families where the father is the parent that stays home with the kids. Oh, yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. We have very close friends. They have 5 kids, and the dad, he works part-time, and the mom works full-time, and he is home with the kids most of the time, and it works for them, and I think that's fantastic. So I'll just say, no matter who the person is or what partner it is, the person that's bringing home the bacon or the breadwinner and versus the person that's staying home and taking care of the house, you always are going to feel that want. The person that stays home is going to feel that want to be out in the world and probably feel guilt that they don't actually contribute in a monetary way, while the person that is, you know, has to go to work every day, has to, you know, get dressed, can't be in their pajamas. I'll say that. I do miss that about staying home.
Yeah.
And or from when the kids were homeschooled, like, pajamas, well, like, till noon. Fine. Whatever. You're doing your schoolwork, I don't care.
I will say, I lost my train of thought for a second, but as far as, like, the guilt, I don't have it with money, but I do have serious guilt for wanting that identity, that like it's like something must be wrong because I don't want to stay home.
Now, do you feel guilty because of that do you feel guilty, obviously it's not from your husband, right?
No.
You don't feel like he puts that guilt on you, but do you feel that you feel that way because traditionally that's what is expected
it's like
of
a
you
society,
as a woman?
Traditional expected, yeah.
Well, it's just like they say when you see actors or actresses being interviewed, they'll say there's an actress and she has kids, they'll say like, to the man, they'll be like, oh, how was how did you love filming this? And to the woman, they'll say, oh, it must have been hard being away from your baby. How did you make that choice? And the thing is, the man could have babies too, and they don't even say anything about that. But as a woman, it's expected almost.
Yeah, it's a very different, and it is. It's to the pressure to, I wish I could remember exactly what it said, but basically it was like a Facebook meme.
Right.
But it was that women are expected to work as if they don't have children.
Yes.
And raise children as if they don't work.
That's true.
And it's true. It doesn't matter what angle you're going at, it's wrong. If you stay at home, you're lazy. If you work, you're selfish. If you do a mix, then you're never going to be good enough at either.
And here's the thing too. So it's okay for you to be a mother and work, but it's not okay for you to want to work. You know?
Oh, right,
for you to find joy in it.
Yeah.
You know?
I got that whenever I was going to New York a lot. People at work, they're like, how can you leave your kids? I'm like, turns out I have a pretty stable husband and he's capable. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm allowed to spread my wings a little bit. Like, my kids are cared for. My kids know that I love them. I talk to them every single day, multiple times a day. Thank you very much. They're fine. And then there's this one little old lady at work, and I've got pictures everywhere of my kids, obviously, because, like, they are my life.
Of course.
But one of them she noticed was a uniform, and she's like, oh, are they in private school? And I was like, yeah, they are. You know, we didn't care for the school that we were zoned for. We chose private school, this, that, and the other. She's like, you wouldn't even have to work if you didn't put them in private school. And I'm like, First of all, how is that any of your
It's not
business?
her business.
Yeah.
Second of all, I work completely for hundreds of reasons other than monetary gain. I mean,
Right.
is that a big factor?
Of
Of course.
course.
But there's a lot more to it. And people can't understand that.
And you shouldn't be made to feel guilty about that. Like, if it's something that makes you happy and it brings you joy, like, why can't you enjoy many things?
Right.
As a woman, should our only joy be our children and our families and our husbands? Like, no, I don't think
No.
it
No.
should. Why
Because you can
does
do it all. You might not feel like you're spread the right way, whatever, but if
We
you
all feel that way.
want to change your priorities different than this traditional values, or if you want to have those traditional values, whatever, you can do that. It's okay.
Now, Heather, I have a question for you because you are such a newly married woman.
You are the newest.
How have things shifted already for you in any way, or are there things that you feel like you've been doing that now you're kind of like, wait a second, what am I doing? We need to change this.
A couple things.
Or
Whenever
him,
he
for that
first moved
matter.
in, it was I cook dinner, you wash dishes. You
Ooh.
cook dinner, I'll wash dishes. That lasted about a week.
I wish
I
I
wash
would've done
dishes,
that.
I cook dinner.
Oh,
I wish I would have done that. I think that's a great idea.
So
I
that
will
didn't
say,
stick.
I was just a fun story real quick. I always tell Zoe, I'm like, whenever she's like ready in the morning early or whatever, I was like, unload the dishwasher.
Right.
I was like, watch, it's a magic trick. When we come home, the dishes will be done. Because as long as that dishwasher, he won't unload the dishwasher.
But he'll start it.
But he'll load it.
That's
So I'm like, it's like a
funny.
magic trick. Just
That's hey, whatever
funny.
works, and that's really kind of what we're trying to get at is, it doesn't matter if it is traditional or non-traditional. What matters is that everyone is contributing in their way, and that you are feeling fulfilled and you're feeling happy.
Yeah.
But I do get fulfillment out of that more traditional aspect too. I like making plates for him. I
Me
like
too.
Yeah, I don't
It's a
mind
little
doing
thing,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's, hey, this is my zone. I'm cooking. Let me go ahead and do this. It's I'm already in the process, so don't
mess
get
up
in my
the
area.
flow.
Well, you know what, too? If I'm being honest, I have a hard time with cooking, because with cooking and sharing the responsibility of cooking, because I've done it a lot. I've done it many years now. I know where everything is. I know how all the recipes are done. I can do it quickly and efficiently with less mess. That I oftentimes, it's less of a burden on me.
Yeah.
It's less of a
To
burden
just
on
do
me
it than
to
to-
just do it. And it's not just with my husband, it's with the girls too. I find that I have a hard time releasing control in some aspects, and that is one
Only
of them.
some.
Yeah. I mean, do my dishes all day long. Nothing says I love you like a clean sink
Yes.
of no
Right.
dishes.
Yes.
Do you find, I know that I've seen pictures of you cooking with the kids and all.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize I was such a control freak
Yeah, me
until
too, a
I
little
tried to
bit.
let my kids in the kitchen.
They stir.
Oh, okay.
See, what some
They
point
just
they're-
keep it stirring for me. They don't do the. I have to do. All
at
that.
some point they're gonna get past that just stirring situation.
They're going to
though.
want more.
Well, I do let them I'll chop it. I'll divvy up how much needs to be in at that time, and then they'll put it in. But they're doing all the steps that I'm just like, okay, well, put that in while I'm chopping this more.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's just a little extra help, but they enjoy it, and it's a little fun time with me and one of them at a time, because I don't do two at a time.
No, that's hard.
It's chaos.
How,
Go
sorry.
ahead, you go.
How are the rest of the chores and everything in your house?
I do the laundry, and he'll do his laundry.
Hey.
No! No, there's a whole basket right there beside the washer. Toss some of our crap into.
For what
That's
he
I fold
does,
it all.
is
I
his
wash
laundry
his
like
if there's stuff in our lawn,
yeah.
his from the week, I'll toss his in with ours.
Yeah, you're like
Why
not
can't you
separating
do-
out his socks.
He's
and
like,
stuff. yeah.
he's still in bachelor pad mode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
and I'm like, what? And yesterday I said something to him. I was like, "Hey, you're doing laundry?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm just tossing my stuff from work." I'm like, "You want to go ahead and toss some of our stuff in? You're already doing laundry." He was like, "Oh, well, yeah, I could do that." I'm like,
Like it
He
never
doesn't
even
think
occurred
about
"Why
to
did that
him.
not occur to you?
You know-
that there's a pile of laundry there?"
My husband still will wash a load when he is in need of something,
Mhm.
and it will be like a little skimpy load, and I'm like,
Yes.
dude, why waste a wash? throw
Yeah.
some more. You see this heaps of laundry?
Help me out.
But I think you're
But he
right. They
didn't-
don't
it's
really
yeah,
think
it's
about
not
it.
meant to be.
They're not putting
No, I
rude.
don't
Yeah.
think it's trying to be rude at all.
It's
It's just
just
like,
like, I
oh,
think they have
this is what I need for
television.
work.
That's what I
Here's
was gonna
here's a
ask.
pair
Are
of
they gross?
coveralls, 3 shirts, and some socks. I'm like,
Right. Well, and that's what I was
There's
going to
still
ask.
room in that
is
washer.
Is he doing it separate because it's like grubby because it's his work clothes?
sometimes yes, but other times I'm like, just
I think
It's
it's
getting
most of the
washed.
time.
Just
I think
toss it in there.
I think
Yeah.
it's most of the time he probably just doesn't even
yeah,
think
no.
like not being nasty. He
Right.
just probably just doesn't think
Nope.
it through. Let's see. Ben will do laundry all day long. He'll wash, he'll dry, do laundry all day long.
Will he
And then I
fold?
will come home to 5 loads of laundry sitting on my
Oh, I
couch waiting
knew
for me to
it.
fold them all.
That is my least favorite
I hate
chore.
folding and putting away.
So it's like you want to complain, you really want to complain about all this laundry, but it's
But you can't because he washed
you
it.
just saved me 5 hours.
Right.
Crap.
No, I hate to fold and put away laundry so much. It's probably my absolute least favorite chore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Second to doing the dishes. Now, I don't mind with the dishwasher. That'll be better. I just feel like with the kids and stuff, like why can't we, like, why do they pile up so fast? You know, like why can't we take turns doing the dishes? I think with this new dishwasher, we're gonna instill some. Like, everyone has a turn doing dishes this night. And we've done that in the
Yeah.
past, but, like, you know how it is.
It's
like
hard
you,
to stick to.
you start a new chore chart, and it's great for, like, 3 months, and then all of a sudden
It's
it
pretty
all
and
falls
it's
apart.
decorated.
Yeah, it's all falls apart and goes to crap, and then you have to, like, find a different way, the new
Mhm.
exciting different way to, like, encourage them to do those things.
Yeah, mine, it took me a long time to admit that I even needed help because I was trying to, it was, I'm going to work and I'm going to be a mom and I'm going to do
Yes.
everything. And as the kids got older, it was probably mom was on me the most. Like, why are they not, they can
Oh,
they can
mate,
sort
yeah.
laundry.
You talk to mom, and she'll say, oh, you guys were doing dishes
At
at...
2 years old, up
Yeah.
on a
Oh,
Yeah.
you
pushed
can
against
stand on
the
a
seat.
chair. You can stand on a chair. You can wash some dishes.
Mhm.
I love when she says stuff like that to my kids because they will gripe about the silliest things. And I'm like, really? All you have to do is, like, Clorox wipe down some surfaces.
Mhm.
Like, come on. You know what I was doing at your age?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was cooking dinner for the family, okay?
I'm just more of a, it's so much easier just for me to do it and get it
I
over
know,
with.
and I struggle with that too.
Mhm.
Luckily, Chris, he is very good at keeping them on their stuff.
Yeah, Ben's
I
the
will say,
enforcer.
God, I
mine
am
are-
not.
Thankfully,
I'll
mine
give
are in
in.
the ages where they were like, "Mommy, can I help you wash the dishes?" Shoot, go get the step stool.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It doesn't last long.
Yeah, mine are not.
Just don't. It's only dishes they want to help with.
Yeah.
Although
Right.
I did get them to clean their bedroom without arguing with me the other day, but I had to bribe them.
Hey,
Yeah.
you do
They
what
cleaned
works.
it, and I was able to sweep and mop it, but they each got one YouTube show.
Oh my gosh.
But
I
it
was
worked.
Bribes.
I posted a video of, I think it was Aubriana, it could have been Zoe, vacuuming.
Oh,
And they
no.
were like, she's going to get a hernia
I had somebody
What?
else do the same thing.
with a vacuum.
They were like 6 or 7 year old was vacuuming, and she was like, "Oh, just helping out mom." And then some person commented something similar, like, "Kids should be playing. Kids should not be doing housework." And
When are so they're gonna grow up and be complete slobs? I
I'm
mean,
not into that. I'm not into that at all. And that being said, I still will do things for them. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's important that we work on those things. But
Yeah.
I will be the first one to give in. Chris is usually a stickler. He's like,
I'm
I washed
usually-
my dishes. You better wash yours.
Mhm.
If Ben is around, I have a much easier time sticking to it. Now that
Yeah.
he's, he works remotely, so he stays at home. So he's always there. And he can easily yell at them to go do this, go do that, whatever. It's easier. Whenever
Right.
he's gone, it's like, I don't even want to deal with it. Let me just do the laundry today. I
No.
got this.
That's something that we can talk about a little bit as far as non-traditional and traditional gender roles. Are you good cop or are you bad cop?
Oh, it changes.
It changes for
so
us.
for us, because our mommy was a single parent for many years, our mommy was both good and bad cop. She was flying by the seat of her pants cop most of the time. And so I feel like when the kids were littler, we had more balance. But as they're getting older, I am usually good cop and he is usually bad cop. And usually stuff that I fold on, he will be like, hold them accountable for.
It really depends on what the situation is because whenever it comes to chores and stuff, he's totally bad cop. He will all day long. And I'm like, just chill. It's okay.
Right,
you know,
right.
whatever.
That sounds about like
Let
me.
him go play.
They can
But
have a
it-
little break.
Give me that attitude. No.
Right.
Like, real quick. And I'm like, oh, hell no. We're not going down
Actually,
this
I
road.
think I'm more bad cop than he's more good cop, because I'll get in there, I'll be on to them, they'll be in trouble, and 20 minutes later he's like, can I go talk to him now?
Oh.
I brought them
That's
home
how I
Hot
get.
Wheels. I'm like, why'd you bring
Of
them
course
home
he brought them
Hot
home Hot
Wheels?
Wheels.
Why? Well, they had good weeks. Oh, I just spent the last hour yelling at him because he was giving me attitude and he won't do his homework. He goes, well, let me just go talk to him. Can I give him his Hot Wheels car? I'm like,
Oh my gosh. You're ruining it.
Now, okay, so with that, do you find that that is something you're having to work on finding balance with being a blended family and him coming into children without having had them before?
they are starting to expect him to bring home the things
Oh
now.
no.
So-
Oh no.
And he will for good behavior all week, which is
Good.
fine.
I'm not
But
above
it's
the
getting to
brush.
where Jack's like, is Bobby coming home? Would he bring me? I'm like, nope. It doesn't work
Yeah.
like
Can
that.
buy you a big hug, buddy.
Yeah, you don't.
But I love it because they adore him. It's Matthews. Is Bobby coming home tonight? Oh, I want to see Bobby. I want to tell him about this. I'm like, oh,
I know.
I love it.
Ben is out of town, and Aubriana, usually, not usually, but a lot of the time she'll be like, "Oh, Ben's not home. Can I sleep with you?"
Mommy
Like,
time. Mommy
It's like that,
time.
mommy time. But then she came home, and she's like, "Ben's not here. When is he coming home?" I'm like, "Oh, he'll be home in a couple of days, whatever." And she's like, "It's really quiet." I was like, she's like, "You know how you kind of want it, and then you get the quiet, and it's really weird."
Sounds like Bobby over
yes.
Thanksgiving.
So Bobby comes from not such a traditional family, whereas he wasn't used to the gatherings.
close.
He's not, not
Mhm.
close, thank you. So it really threw him for a loop, and he's really had to work on getting used to all of our noise, because we're not a quiet family.
And how much we
At
gather. Because we
Yes.
everything. It's
We-
somebody's
it's like-
birthday, time
It's
to
like,
get
oh,
together.
birthday, let's get together. Oh,
Yeah.
it's Martin Luther King Day, we're having a cookout. And
Right.
he's
Yeah,
like,
there's always
for
birthday.
what? I'm like, come on, we're getting together. He's like, but I don't understand.
Family and food, bro.
Yeah, I'm
family
like, there's
and
food.
It's a good
And then
excuse.
he'll leave early and be like, but can you bring me a plate? No. You
better
wanted a
get
plate,
your
you
butt
stay.
here. Yeah. But I thought
But
it was
he did
funny.
really well on Thanksgiving. He left, got home, realized, it's too quiet. I'm coming back.
Yeah, it's a lot to just step into.
It is.
And I know Mommy thinks that he doesn't like us, like not us, but everyone.
No.
But he adores everyone. He's just not used to it.
Now we'll grow on him like a fungus. Don't worry.
It's getting there. We're kind of taking over.
That's funny.
Oh,
I will say this: I've gotten the okay to take some of the bachelor pad down.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's
That's-
okay. That's something we can talk about. So, coming from you already having an established family.
I had a house. I had all my stuff, which I didn't have a lot, but it helped me keep the house really clean.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then he moved in, and he has lots.
He does have a lot of stuff.
And my house kind of ended up looking like a bachelor pad more than a family home. So I kind of kept hinting at it, and he's like, "Oh well, why don't I just take some of the stuff down?" I'm like, "Really? You'll do that?"
Like, can we just keep up the favorite stuff, the most favorite
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff?
I'm like, okay, your coin
just like
collection,
with your kids,
perfect.
like when you're going through their toys,
but
you're like,
all of the cars on display.
yeah.
Come on, let me put some family pictures up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when he's like, he walks over to the shelf and he's like, "Someone touched this."
Yes.
Oh, that's the thing too.
He's like, "Hey,
That's
who
an
messed with this?"
adjustment.
I'm like,
You're like, you have two small
"There's
children.
They
If they
might
can
have
touch
brushed it."
they
Or I'm
probably
like,
did.
"I moved it."
Right.
Whoops.
Well, I
bad.
think that's the difference of living on your own versus living with
Yes.
people, other
Mhm.
people, period. Now, I will say with transitioning from a traditional gender role to more of like a, I don't know, compromised gender
Mhm.
roles in our family life, that I struggled with it because of my love language is acts of service, and I do get joy from taking care of others. You guys know it.
Yeah.
You know it. I mother everyone. I'm the mother. So that was hard for me to kind of separate those things. Like, is this something I'm doing because I love my family, or is this something I'm doing because
I feel like I'm
have
supposed
to do
to.
it? Yeah. Now, do either of you feel like that came into play in your transit? I know, Heather, you still are going to be working on transitioning.
Yeah,
Your
we're
kids
still-
are.
It's constantly evolving, but those
Yeah.
first couple of years are
rough.
real real intense.
Well, I think
Very
it's
eye-opening.
gonna be real one step forward, two steps back with us, especially with dealing with deployments. Because it's like,
Oh,
I'm gonna
true.
get used to doing everything on my own again. Oh,
Just
look,
for
I
somebody
have
to
this
come back.
help.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow, that's
I don't have
true.
help anymore. I'm gonna do this again, and then just the whole back and forth is it's gonna take so much longer to make an adjustment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I will adjust to him being gone a lot.
I wonder.
It's like survival. You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder, dear listeners and viewers, do you have a spouse that is deployed, and does there become a shift when they do deploy? Like perhaps you have traditional gender roles, and then they're become more non-traditional, or do you have like family that is helping, or like how do you navigate that? That's an
I
excellent
will say
point.
this is he does the outside work, and that
Oh,
has
that's
stuck,
great.
Yeah.
thankfully. Because, well, I can't say because I've never done it, because I've never had to, because whenever he didn't, our dad did.
Yeah.
So I didn't need to even bother with it. I was just said, I'd just get a text, hey, have the boys pick up the backyard, I'm coming over to mow.
Mhm.
I'm like, yes.
Well, see, I
I
am.
was losing my dogs.
Oh God. Oh yeah. Well, the
It was
little
getting-
one especially.
It's getting pretty bad at some points.
I am a impatient person. I'm very, which is so funny because mommy will always say like how patient I am, and it's like in some ways
With
yes.
our kids,
In
you're
some
very
ways,
patient.
yes,
Mhm.
but in some ways not. Like, oh, I'm ready to move some furniture. Oh, you're not ready to
Oh,
move some
I'm like
furniture.
that too.
It's been 2 minutes. I'm moving this armoire by myself.
Yeah,
You
got
know?
this.
Yeah.
When I was pregnant with Jack, I had pestered my ex for God. It had been a month. I was like, "Hey, we gotta switch rooms. Give Matthew the bigger room.
Yeah.
We gotta switch rooms." He didn't. He came home one day. I'm moving this heavy freaking dresser by myself. He's like, "Well, I told you I'd got it." I was like, "You said that a month ago."
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
tired of waiting, and moved the entire room by myself. He's like, "Well, why'd you do that?" I'm like, "Cause I'm gonna have a baby in a month.
Right.
We kind of need to do this."
Yeah. You know, I wonder if we get that from our mommy too, because she had to do everything like that on her own for the most part. You know, occasionally she have a like friend or somebody who can help, but she did it all.
Yeah.
And I feel very much like in the end, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna get done.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting that long for the help. I'm not. It's not gonna happen that way.
Yeah. No.
Like, I rearranged our living room this week because Christmas is coming up. We rearranged.
Yeah.
I needed to rearrange everything. Bobby walks in and goes, "Oh, I love the living room like this." Yeah, I know I did it.
Yeah.
Well,
By myself.
And your oldest is right now going through her toys and cleaning her stuff, and you just moved. Did you
You
move
re-
all of that furniture
No,
around?
I was prepared to.
He moved it?
He did. I actually,
cool.
I
It
will
looks very nice
say,
in there.
It does
I
really
will
look
say,
nice.
I went in and I was like, look, so we should change your room around. You'd have more room if we do it this way, that, or the other. And he starts like grabbing stuff off the dresser, and I'm like, oh, we're doing this now.
See, that's
You
awesome.
spoke it and it instantly was taken. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, he's a good one. You know, he drives me crazy, but he's a good one.
They all drive us crazy. And,
Yes.
and I'm sure it's mutually shared craziness,
Oh,
because
for
I
sure.
know we must drive them crazy.
All right, what about triumphs?
All right, triumphs. So my triumph this week is that even though it's been insanely stressful, our budget is dwindling for the house, which has got me incredibly nervy and scared. I thought we would have, which I worry about money stuff. I'm not going to lie. Let us know in the comments if you worry about money stuff.
It doesn't matter how much money you have. There's always going to be a word.
I just realized this.
God.
Of course, you're going to jump on triumphs first. I
I
get the
need
bad
me
stuff.
one. I need me
Yeah,
one.
you throw me under the bus for the bad ones first. I don't ever get triumphs first.
Oh, okay, next week Heather gets
Heather.
triumphs first.
And trials last.
Okay, so my life has been just incredibly stressful. We're living in our bus. We're living out of boxes. Our budget is tight. My husband is about to start his new job finally, thank God. But like he won't get a paycheck for 2.5 weeks, and it's been a lot. And I've been stress eating. Not even gonna lie. I Thanksgiving like 3 days straight.
Yeah.
It was all right. I'm okay with it. I'm mostly okay with it. Next week, when I actually get my butt back into gear, I might be hating myself a little. But this week, I was
It'll
like,
be okay.
whatever. I'm hungry, you know? But just when I'm feeling my lowest, like I have nothing left to give, like I am just being used up and there's just nothing, I get a little present in the
Aw.
mail from my sister. I was over here last time we podcast, and I want to put a little mascara on because I might have really thin, light eyelashes. And I used a mascara that she got from, was it from like a box?
I think it was from my FitFab Fun. But I get so many boxes, it's hard to say.
And you like that kind of stuff a little bit more than I do. Me, I'm like using the same mascara I've had for 3 years and wondering why it's not working and it's full of clumps.
Terrible.
You know? I know. That's what I'm saying. But I used this mascara and it was so nice. It didn't clump. It gave my lashes nice length, and I didn't have to work for it. It was just like boom, boom, boom. And I loved it, and I was telling her how much I loved it. And I got an Amazon package, and in it was a mascara, and it said something along the lines of, thank you so much. I know this is something you wouldn't do for yourself, but thank you so much for everything you do. You constantly are helping others. You're constantly helping the family, and I just want you to know that we love you and we appreciate you. And I'm going to almost start crying now. It was the sweetest thing, and it's like, my mascara.
It was just a mascara.
Oh, it was so thoughtful and unexpected. And then, to top it off, I thought I would have a little extra money with the house stuff. Like, oh, maybe I'll get a new couch, or maybe I'll get some new dishes or something. That's probably not likely to happen. Right now, I just want to, get into my house and not be in any debt. I hate to be in debt. Oh, my God. Anyways, I really wanted this Pioneer Woman pots and pans set that they had on Black Friday, and it was a really good deal, and I was like, well, nah, forget it. I don't have the money. I can't do it. I certainly don't have the money for me. I have to start working on some things for the kids. And lo and behold, Mommy comes over Friday afternoon. It's like, I got you a present. And it's like, oh, yay, that's cool. Thinking she means, for Christmas, I picked some things up for you guys. And she's like, no, come here. And she pulls out this giant box full of Pioneer Woman pots and pans set.
It was a nice set.
It was so wonderful. And then her friend Sam, who is the sweetest, also gifted me a little set that goes with it that matches. And it's like little measuring cups and a cutting board.
Yeah, everything.
I can't open it yet because I can't put anything in my kitchen, but it's gonna look
But
so
you've got the box.
nice. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude and appreciation, and again, it was perfect timing. It was perfect timing, and while I don't need something to say that, to feel that, it's just nice to know that you are seen, that people see you, that they see the effort you're putting in, and it kind of ties in with how we've been trying to do our pay it forwards for the month. Just that little acknowledgement can just make someone's day.
Yeah.
And I just feel grateful and spoiled a little, which is awesome.
What about you? We'll let you go second. We'll make you go last.
Thanks. So for me, we are almost done Christmas shopping already.
Oh,
which
that
is
is
a huge
amazing. Oh, that's yours too? Gosh, I am not
and
done.
I did not do Black Friday.
That's even more amazing.
So we went to Target, and I got a Target gift card from work.
Oh, that's
and our original plan was to go get the Hot Wheels Colossal track at Target.
That's what they've been dying for, by the way. I've heard nothing but about this colossal Hot Wheels track.
It's this giant
from these boys.
Whatever track, or Hot Wheels track. I was like, okay. So we went there, and I was like, $99. It was on sale just 2 days ago. I was like, we're not buying that. I looked up on Amazon, $64.
That is
That's amazing.
And I was
fantastic.
like, don't touch that box. Bobby had it in his hands, says, put it back. We're not buying it. He was like, what do you mean? I said it's $64 on Amazon. He was like, oh man. Never mind.
I don't like that anymore.
That's amazing.
We had already grabbed a few other things in the cart and whatever. And so we were checking out, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go get us coffees real quick. You've got this? You've got the gift card with you, too. It was over $200 that we got.
The Target.
Yes, but their Christmas is
still-
almost done. They just need a couple outfits each and some new shoes and stocking stuffers, and we're done.
Yeah.
I feel like things just cost so much more nowadays too, and as our kids are getting older, it's getting harder and harder to keep in a certain budget. I feel like when we were kids, Mom would be like, whatever, $150 each kid or something. I can't do hardly nothing with $150.
But Mom knows
nowadays.
how to shop.
She
Yeah, she
really
does.
does.
I don't know how she does it. Or
You
did
might
it.
you might be the
Black
worst
Friday.
Budget
Oh,
shopper out of
I am
us.
the
Oh,
worst.
no.
Well, except for when you were couponing.
I was really good at it.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
really
time
were.
consuming and I don't have time for it.
Yeah,
But
I did never have time. for
Mine
it
is
either.
also that I'm almost done. See, we don't talk about what these are before we come on here. Almost done Christmas shopping. I got the big gifts.
That's awesome.
80% of the big gifts done, and now it's just the little fillers. Oh, you want some watches. He wants some
Yeah,
little
just little
things.
They need
Stocking
hair
stuffers and
ties,
be
they
done
need
with
socks
it.
and underwear.
Yeah,
that
socks
kind
and
of
underwear.
stuff. You're always getting socks and underwear and toothbrushes in this family for Christmas.
Yep.
FYI.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, I'm getting. That's one thing I do have left for the boys. I want to give them each an electric toothbrush.
Ooh.
They're like $20 each. They're not the real fancy kind.
Yeah.
You can get them for like $5.
Not the battery powered ones. Like
Yeah.
their charger ones.
Oh. See,
This is our dental assistant over here.
oh, that's true.
Well,
Yeah.
She knows too much.
My kids like to drop them on the floor, and once
Blech.
I'm like, bleh, it's
Yeah.
trash. Throw it away.
The tops come off. You replace the heads.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know. I just get the cheap ones because you can get a spin brush, but you get the cheap one because once it touches the floor, it's done.
We get the all natural bamboo ones off of Amazon because we are like that.
Little hippie. All right, we should probably wrap this up, and we will chat with you guys next week.
Don't forget
Oh.
to, if you liked this video, to like, subscribe, and leave us a little comment. I want to hear how
And
about
share.
Mhm.
Give
And
some
share.
shares.
Yeah, that
Share us
Yeah.
on
most
Facebook.
excellent. We'd love to hear about your traditional, non-traditional gender roles, how they play in your family, tips and tricks. Because listen, we're always working on these
Mhm.
things,
We're,
Yes.
we're all just trying to figure it out.
and we'll be with you next week.
Bye.
Bye.